Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
Hello traders, and this is going to be an educational video. So I'll be explaining that how I took trade this week and where I got puzzled and all those things. So if you follow this SMC concept, so this will be quite a beneficial video for you, and I'll be explaining my mindset throughout the time. So I hope it helps. So this is the monthly chart, and I was preparing for this area of FVG into the market. So we were having two FVG, but the importance of this FVG was more for me because it was a BPR. So what happened was at initial the price was here, and I was anticipating that most likely we can see a reaction from here. And I'll be explaining what happened later, but first of all, I'll be explaining a concept of order flow. So let's move it there. So according to the order flow, what the smart money does is they actually they take the price into the higher direction, and then what they do is they accumulate some kind of structure, and then they get back to average their positions, and then this structure continues. And this mitigation of this previous structures or strong structures is called order flow. So we are going to use this concept a lot. So keep this thing in mind. So I'll be deleting it. So now that I had seen this FVG, and I'll be explaining why only FVG, because once you are having a huge amount of orders in the market, you can't execute it on a limit order because the institutions are not retailers and their orders won't be filled if they execute it on the limit order. So to trace that footprint of the on the price, we can use FVG as the most relevant way to find the big institutions in the charts. So this is why we use FVG. So now that we are here, we can see a reaction from this FVG into the further upside direction. And I was anticipating that this FVG will be a reacting point for the price. So let's move to the weeklies to see what happened. So the price opened on this Monday's candle, and we were already inside this monthly FVG. Let's make it visible. And I was anticipating that most likely this area, which was following some kind of order flow, let's mark it here, one bearish candle, somewhere here, and this order flow was flipped by the market. So I was anticipating that most likely this unmitigated area will be responsible for the price to move into the downward side. So I was anticipating an upside move which happened in the market. So let's move to the dailies to see what kind of trade was there uh, for me to take in the market. So as I moved into the daily time frame, what happened was uh, I was not seeing any kind of AVG in this move, so I was little bit not ready for the price to take into the upside direction. But this confirmation of the price made more value to me, and we started to move further into the upside direction after taking these equal highs. So now I was anticipating for the price to reach till this zone. So let's move back to the dailies, and here it goes. So So this Monday was not much fruitful for me because I was still anticipating for the price to move much further, because I wasn't able to see any kind of AVG in this structure. So I was anticipating that most likely we are going to come down all the way here, which didn't happen in the in the market, and we moved into the further upside direction. So after we broke this structure, what I saw in the 4 hour is that we had a strong close above this uh, equal high. And why is it significant? Most of the times we don't question that why is it happening. So if we had a close above, and after taking the external liquidity, the price moves to take the internal liquidity, as we know in the smart money concept. So what I saw here was this FVG being respected by the market, and then again the price moved to take the the inside liquidity, but the price was quite powerful, or you can say the strength was too much for the price to push back and respect this FVG, and we get a close above here too. So this was already Monday, and we had moved into the Tuesday session. So I had almost no trades for the Monday because I was anticipating that we had already tapped here. And one more thing was here, that there was one BPR. So I was anticipating that most likely the price can return back to the BPR, because we might have this as liquidity and we were going to sweep it. That was my psychology. And I was waiting for the price to come down because it was in some kind of a sideways zone, getting closed inside a single candle. So there was no trade for me on Monday till Tuesday. So let's move to the 2 hours now. As we move into the 2 hours, we can see that this was the zone I was anticipating, and this candle closure was already done. So it was too fast for me, and I couldn't take any trade. And that might be something really harsh for you, because most of the time we anticipate and we sit on the screen just to take trades each and every day, but that is not how it happens. If you want to be profitable, you need to have patience. So what happened after that? These were all the moves I was anticipating, and the price was not coming into my zone. So finally what happened was I get one entry at certain price. I don't know why is it okay. I have to make it visible. So now that this thing happened, we moved into the further upside direction. Nothing was much clear to me till Tuesday. Now, when we moved, I moved the chart too much. So this is the 4 hours, and let me mark this FVG visible. Okay. Why did it disappear? Okay. So now that we moved here, what I was anticipating that we can possibly see a reaction into the downward side. But later on, what happened was the price started to show some kind of strong move into the upside direction. And then this was the last point which was responsible for the price to move down through this order flow, you can see. So I was anticipating that most likely the price can possibly react from this zone. So let's move to the 4 hours back. It is too much back and forth, but since the price is quite fractal, so we have to do it. So here I spotted one strong high, you can see. And there was a catch in the strong high that we were having 1 BPR. Let's drag it here. So I was anticipating that most likely we were going to go down, and this was also there. So for my first trade, I was anticipating this area to react, and it did react, but we didn't close below it. Since it was a reaction and I was anticipating a reaction, so by this candle, I was already knowing that we have two zones from where the price can possibly react to. This equal lows can be the zone, and this FVG could have been a zone. And why this FVG is relevant? Because this three candle structure, since it is not much visible here, but when we move into the downward time frames, it will be one structure from where the price took liquidity and moved into the further upside direction, which makes it a strong low. So I took a trade after this mitigation. I'll be showing you. It is still not visible here, but when we move into the further downward side, I took this trade over here. Not here actually, I have to find it. Might be a little confusing, but it makes sense. So first of all, I'll be explaining first. So this was the structure which I was talking about. The price was having some kind of order flow here, swing here, and the price took liquidity and then moved into the further upside direction. If you can see, I'll be changing the visibility. Okay, I can't do that. So this was the structure I'm talking about. The price took some kind of liquidity and moved into the further upside direction. So because of this liquidity taken area, this becomes a significant strong low, and this FVG matters. Let's get back. So what happened after it? That after reacting from this zone, which was my higher time frame FVG, I was anticipating that most likely the price is going to return to this FVG, and I had taken one trade from, okay, this was the only time frame, this BPR. It's quite a small trade, but mitigation. Okay. So this was the trade I had taken. This was the first trade, and it was on Monday itself. So what happened after that? The price start to show resistance behavior. It was not breaking the low, though I was anticipating that most likely, because this was a higher time frame FVG. So I was anticipating that most likely we are going to go into the further downward side and take these equals low. So it didn't happen. Rather, we moved into the further upside direction on Tuesday. And To be honest, this move didn't make any sense for me. But what happened after that, I'll be deleting it so that it will be much easier for the eye. So what happened after that? That this was the last BPR I was anticipating the price can possibly react to. But no, it didn't happen. And we swept this extreme high. So now that we had taken this high, I had known that the price is going to go below. So I was anticipating that most likely the price can go down, and I waited for the price to return back to this zone. Since it is all higher time frame trades, that is 1 hours, so I had to wait a lot. Let's color it. Because once the price moves into the external liquidity, it moves down to take the internal liquidity, and that is important. So when the price moved towards the external liquidity, I was anticipating that price can possibly move into the downward side, and we had this FVG. And why didn't I take any kind of trade over here? Because I was anticipating that most likely price will come back, and the reason to anticipate this was almost no FVG in this particular area. So because of this, I was anticipating that the price will return back and mitigate this higher time frame FVG, that is 1 hour FVG, and which was also having confluence with the lower time frame FVG because there was some kind of a flip zone uh, in the structure. So now that we had already moved into the further upside direction, my current target was this low. And there can be a question that why only this low? I could have taken much lower targets. Let's say this low, this extreme low, or this extreme low because it was all mitigated, or this extreme low. But when you target the external liquidity, it becomes a little hard for the price to reach out in first go because it is going to react from the recent levels first, and then it will go towards the higher time frame targets. So for me, this structure was equal lows. So I just targeted this particular structure, and my straight trade placement was this, and the candle which I took was this area and this TP. So this was my target, and it was quite a good target since it is 2.36 and it is having some kind of confirmation. Let's say I don't place a straight trade here because I'm not sure that if the price will sustain. So let's go back into the smaller time frames and let's see if we have any strong confirmation for the price to move into the downward side. So let's say you are not someone who takes direct entry. Even for you, we have this mitigation of FVG. I'll be removing it so that it will be much visible here. So this strong low was broken in the price. And why am I considering this strong low? Because of this candle structure, we had taken some kind of liquidity, which most of the people call inducement. And if you are much of a aggressive trader, you can take entries over here after breaking of this low. But for now, I'm going for the safe entry. So since we broke this lower level and we have this FVG over here, the price moved into the further upside direction, and this FVG was followed by one mitigated FVG over here. So we knew that this area was a flip zone, and this candle was the last area from where the price should have gone into the further upside direction, but it didn't happen. So this candle become a flip zone for us, and we need to place an entry with this stop loss, and this will be the target. But this didn't happen because of this high impact news. So you have to take care of that too. So now this was the Wednesday in the price, and I'll be getting back. I already had booked this 2.3 RR over here, over there. And now what happened was, let's get back to, okay. So now what started to happen in the price was we were left with no FVG in the price, and I was kind of anticipating that this area which was following this order flow in the price will sustain. So I moved into the downward side and I tried to find what possible place we can react to. So this was the possible BPR which I found in the price. So I was still into the bullish side because we had taken some kind of liquidity over here, and I was anticipating that most likely we can go up to mitigate something. Yeah. Uh, Over here, we were having this FVG, which was not mitigated by the price. And I was anticipating that most likely this can be a possible zone from where the price will return back till this FVG. I'll be removing each and every drawing from here so that it can be much clearer. So let's say we are having this unmitigated wick, and I was anticipating that we can possibly react from this unmitigated wick, and we have this FVG. So now that we were not having any kind of FVG in this current structure, so I was anticipating that all of these is some kind of liquidity, and we are going to mitigate into the upside direction. So I moved into the 1 hour, and this was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I didn't trade at all because I was anticipating that we were going to mitigate this FVG, I mean BPR, and then we are going to go down, but that didn't happen. And the market engineered some kind of liquidity just below the structure. So I was anticipating that we were going to go into the further upside direction. So throughout the move, I was anticipating that we are going to go up, and this was the last order block, which I was anticipating we are going to react from. So let's move to the 30 minutes now that we are having a bullish bias. So here we go. Uh, this was the mitigation. I was anticipating that most likely we are going to go up, but that didn't happen over here. Let's see. Yeah. So let's move to the 3 minutes. There was a direct entry of mine at this BPR, and the price disrespected it. Let's keep it there. Let's, yeah, over here, and let's keep it there. Yeah. So my SL was gone because I was targeting this, but that didn't happen. So now that this was the stop loss which I got hit, and still it was Thursday, and we had this BPR made after all of this reaction. So one more thing which I kept in my mind, that we have closed below the structure, and most likely I was looking at the market because my uh, trade ideas were not clear till this level. But once what happened was this Asia session was swept in on the Friday, and uh, we swept this Asia low. and the price sprung up in a really nice momentum over here with a candle closure above it. So I was anticipating that most likely we are going to come down to this level, and another entry was this direct entry over here with this target, which was 2RR. So apart from that, one more thing which uh, helped me to narrow down my stop loss was this candle slow. So this was my target, and yes, the reason is the same because the price had left unmitigated area in the upside direction, and we were having this trend line liquidity, or whatever you can say, that we were having unmitigated zones in the price, and we had a reason for the price to go into the further upside direction. Now that we had this mitigation, so I had already placed my trade over here, and will be my extreme target, and this is going to be my TP. So this is the trade which is running right now. I'll be keeping you updated about it. So regarding all of these, what do we actually know right now is that price is bearish because we are following some kind of order flow in the market yet, and this is the order flow I'm talking about over here. I'm really clumsy with the charts. Over here, then over here, and now that we are moving, so this is the order flow. The price is still maintaining, and I'm anticipating that most likely we are going to go all the way down till this level, but this will be this won't be happening in just one go. So I'm going to keep this order and going to take my partials with each and every external liquidity being taken. So this is my weekly trade idea, and some of the concepts of the smart money concept. Uh, if you learned, and if you want individual videos regarding this thing, you can let me know. I'm a little lazy, but I'll try to make it. So this is pretty much it. If you find this video valuable, do like it because that helps the channel and helps the channel to grow more. And that's it. Thank you for watching.